All right. Testing, testing. Let me know if you can hear me. Let's see that sound. All right, there's sound. Excellent. Hello, everyone. So lovely to be here now. So I just got off of a call with one of my mentors, and she was so inspiring and amazing that I was like, oh yes, I want to go live too. This sounds great. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about manifesting and some ways that you can get out of your own trauma patterns, everything, and start manifesting things that have really helped me. Oops. So let me know if you're watching this live. You can do an emoji or just say hi. And then if you're watching this later, do #replay so that I can know that you watched it later. And I have some questions and things in here that I want to share with you. So good. All right, so manifesting. Everybody talks about manifesting. And for me, there's been some pretty key things that have made a huge difference and really sped up my ability. And I also like to use the word wombifest more than manifest because I feel like it's more accurate to how I'm living, which is really based on a lot of womb wisdom from within and then from the divine, right? So this beautiful merge. So one of the things that has just been amazing for manifesting is if you think about like what is divine feminine leadership, I mean, it is collaborative. It's not overworking. It's not overgiving or working too hard. It's about the heart chakra being open to giving and receiving, right? So this goes for everything, for your work, for your relationships. It needs to be receiving and giving. And a lot of times women, because of patriarchal wounds, it's hard for us to receive. That's something that I had to work on and learn, is the ability to receive. And a great tip to practice that is when someone gives you a compliment, to take a moment and breathe it in and actually receive it. I'll be like, oh yeah, thanks. Or, oh, this shirt is old, or what, to brush it off. Don't brush it off, because that tells the universe like, oh, they're not ready to receive. And if you want to manifest a partner, a job, whatever it is, money, anything, you have to let the universe know that you're willing to receive. So just by accepting and energetically receiving compliments like that is a huge game changer. And that's all nurturing the heart chakra, allowing it to be open. So that's one of my favorite practices. And it's easy to fall into the pattern of like not really receiving it. But it is energy coming at you. Like someone really liked your eyeshadow or your shirt or your hair or whatever they're complimenting. And to really receive that, that's the invitation. And a lot of times with this work, like there's divine feminine, like the reason divine feminine is rising right now, like one of the reasons it's rising is because it's time. The planet Gaia, Pachamama, our planet has already stepped into this divine feminine frequency. It's already in ascension. And so as humans and as a collective, we're catching up with that to get this beautiful balance of feminine and masculine energy within ourselves first, right? And then starting to see that with each other, encouraging men to share their feelings and holding space for them, not putting them in a box. I was having an amazing conversation with this divine masculine person at the dance on Sunday, and he was sharing from his heart. It was so beautiful. And he was sharing how women put him in a box of like needing to be masculine. It's not just other dudes. And how when women are able to receive and encourage more vulnerable shares or emotional things like that helps him connect with his divine feminine energy. It was a beautiful conversation. So anyway, a lot of these wounds are patriarchal. It's the way that our system, our society, our culture has been for a long time. And so it can be really difficult to receive compliments or to remember to allow men to be in their divine masculine when we're with them. There's a lot of wounds that we're healing as a collective. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot. So I want you to think about, like, right now, first thing that comes to your mind, like, what do you know you need to release? What wound is there that you're aware of? Because that's the shadow work, is like, there's a bunch of stuff we're probably not aware of, right? And there's ancestral things that we're healing right now as well. So is it something around doubt, self-worth? Do you have a fear that you need to release? Not feeling worthy? Is there shame, right? What belief do you have that's outdated? Like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or like any of those negative self-limiting beliefs that kind of run in the background. I want you to know and identify what that is for you. And if you're willing to put it in the chat, I am releasing doubt. I'm releasing fear. I'm releasing shame. Because that's the beautiful thing about this ascension timeline, is you can do that right now. You can let it go and step into a higher frequency, or a more aligned frequency, which then allows you to manifest more. I hope this is making sense. Let me just check the chat. Any comments, questions? Okay, cool. Just let me know if you have any. Yeah, so it's an interesting thing. Yeah, I really appreciate this comment. Sounds like discipline, that I need to be working all the time in order to survive. Yeah, that's outdated. That is the old paradigm for sure. It's such a crazy thing, right? This overgiving and working really hard. And it's, yeah, it really is outdated. And and there's a belief around that, right? There's a belief that you can release around that it has to be hard, or that you have to be disciplined. I mean, some tapas is good, just austerity. Some discipline is great, right? Like going to the altar every morning and saying your affirmations. That's an example from my life. All right, there's some disciplines that are really helpful, and letting go of it has to be hard, or it depends on what you mean by discipline. I hope that makes sense. Please clarify if I misunderstood anything. And again, thanks for commenting. Let's see if I can like it. Hey, I can. Awesome. Yeah, it's this stuff. This work is like, there's so many layers. People, humanoids, are so complex. And then we all interpret something as trauma when we're younger, whether we really had some crazy traumatic things happen to us, or if we just interpreted something as traumatic. So there's all these wounds that are here that show up for us to heal. And by releasing outdated patterns and stories, that's how you rise as a priestess who owns her self-worth, her intuition, and her psychic abilities. And that's like one of the outcomes of the divine feminine initiation and certification, is like really deep diving into releasing all of those outdated patterns and stories, so that you can rise and really own your self-worth. I mean, self-worth is it changes everything, right? When you really love and value yourself, man, it's very powerful. Let me just check again the comments. Is there anything I'm missing? Yeah, okay, cool. So one of the big things that we work on in our lives, especially if we're on a spiritual journey, especially self-ascension, and definitely if you're in the divine feminine initiation, is energetic boundaries. So you have this energetic boundary so that you can stay heart open and still safe, right? And one of the ways to do that, which we were discussing on our call this week, was actually it was this morning, was knowing which relationships to turn to for what things. You know, because I think the best tactic is to just journal and to do like voice notes on the phone to yourself and then listen back. The intuition is amazing when you do that, or if you read your journal notes. And we always end up going to relationships because we're relational, especially women, very relational. And so starting to have discernment around, like, who do you go to for what, right? So if you're an example from my life is like, I am doing the certification process and I'm running my own business, and it's all of the things that I love in this beautiful transformational journey. Well, it doesn't really help for me to share that with my family. They're not really the right people to turn to about this, but I can talk to my accountability partner and my mentor and my other coaching friends about these things. Those are the right people to talk to because they see it, they get it, they can encourage me. Just an example. So it's really important to make a list of who your fans are. Like, who are the people that are holding you up, always encouraging you, always inspiring you, and like, yeah, you can do it. You've got this. It's not an if, it's a when, right? Who are those people in your life? So that's like the second thing. So the first is like, what are you releasing? Putting that in the chat. And it can be vague. That's okay. But it's just good to put it there because that's what releases it. You're announcing it. You're writing it. And it releases it. And then another thing is, you know, what's that list? Who are the fans? Who are your biggest fans? Who are your supporters? Who is encouraging you to continue to be you and shine more and more every day? So this is the kind of stuff that we're doing in the initiation, is that kind of type of thing, is like, okay, what are the core wounds? Okay, what people do you need to be around? You know, there's that quote, you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. Are those people, like, think about who those people are. Are they going in the direction you want to be going? Just notice, you know, if you are holding on to a relationship with someone because you've had it for a long time or whatever the case may be, and you know it's not feeding your soul the way that you need it, it might be time to let that relationship go. So anyways, these are things that have helped me, receiving the energetic boundaries, healing the wounds, my own wounds. These are the things that have helped me to become a powerful wombifester or manifester of my life. To be able to serve and love and take all of the amazing things that I've learned and experiences I've had and offer this beautiful journey. So I still have 2 spots left with the 2K scholarship price. So if you would like to discover if the Divine Feminine Mastery Path is truly what you're being called to, I would love to have a heart-to-heart with you. And this certification can allow you to make money with ease and grace. It allows you to step into the leadership abilities that you already have that might be dormant, right? And maybe blocked by some trauma and some outdated beliefs, right? And it's such a beautiful thing to be able to be a coach and to start to serve others and make money doing it. You know, you can coach on the side, or it could be a career. And I'll help with all of that. So if we have a call together, I'll ask questions and hold space, and you will feel so seen and heard, probably deeper than you ever have before, unless you've done a lot of these types of calls. And then after the conversation, if you want to know how you can work with me or you want to know about the initiation, I'll share it. But if not, I'll just hold space for you. Like, that's like a 20, 30-minute power session. I love connecting with powerful women like you who are ready to say F yes to me, like yes to my body, yes to my power, yes to the divine feminine rising, and I'm ready to ditch the BS that's like stuck on me. That is so amazing. And during our call, you'll have an action inspired. You'll be inspired to take aligned action in your life, whether it's a certain relationship that you're curious about, or your sexuality, or your womb, right? Any of these divine feminine things that you want to bring to the call, I'll ask you questions about and hold that space for you to have a discovery and then action steps to move forward in your evolution with that. I love sacred relationships. I love the womb. I love sexuality and talking about these things that a lot of people aren't talking about or holding space for. So this conversation will really change your life, amplify your frequency, and help you identify what you truly need to manifest. And if you want that space holding to be about manifestation, I'm all about it. Like, yes, let's do it. Because the things that are manifesting in my life, I didn't believe they were possible years ago. I did not believe they were possible. It's so magical to me. And I did a call with a coach, and that's how I was held and realized like, oh, that's available for me. Like, I can make money doing what I love. I can manifest dream soulmate relationships and partners. Like, I can, get my son into the school that I've always wanted him to go, so that he's dying to go to school and like doesn't want to leave. Like, I can manifest these things. Like, I didn't see that as possible for me. And like, it's so beautiful, because that's one of my gifts, is I could see that for you if you're brave enough to have the conversation. So anyway, I love you so much. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your day or evening, whatever time zone you're in. And I will be live on Thursday for a masterclass. So see if you can make it live to that, because I love going back and forth and sharing. It's way more fun. Like Jacqueline commenting, like that really touched my heart, because I like the back and forth. I don't really like to sit behind the mic. Like, I like to have a conversation. I like to connect. And so, yeah, I would love it if you can make it live. Okay, any questions, comments, or closing thoughts before I go? Aw, thank you. I had blocks around my voice. Like, I have a podcast, and in the Divine Feminine Initiation, there's a bunch of meditations, right? So I was recording a meditation, and it like, that old voice came up for a moment, just for a moment before I was recording the meditation, and it was like, your voice sucks. And I was like, whoa, we're releasing that right now, and we're recording this meditation. And then afterwards I listened to it, and I was like, it was for heartbreak, healing heartbreak. I was like, wow, I sounded so calm and loving. It came through, my energy came through. And it's those limiting beliefs that just really trip us up from taking action. Luckily it didn't, but I really appreciate your comment. So thank you. Yeah. And if there's any meditations, I was thinking about recording a meditation and sharing an invocation here in the group. So if there's anything that you're really wanting or needing or desiring that falls under the umbrella of Divine Feminine, let me know, so that I can continue to love and give and serve you all. Okay. I'll see you on the flip side, which will be Thursday, if not sooner. All right. How do I end this? Oh, there it is. Okay. Bye.